We're going to work in the style of Fernando Botero. He is commonly known for completing artwork where the proportions of the person are hugely exaggerated. So what I'm going to do is just draw my portrait. Okay, like this one, same one as I have been doing. I'm going to draw that, just exaggerating my proportions. All right, so that means I'm going to give myself a chunky face. Now, what you can do is on an app on your phone, you can easily make it so that your face is maybe kind of like a bit wonky. You can kind of deform it slightly so that you're not just kind of making yourself look a little bit larger than life. Now, the reason why Fernando Botero did this is because at the time, the larger you were, so when he was painting his pictures, the larger that you were, the more affluent you were. All right, so the more money you had because you were able to eat more. All right, whereas now that's not the case at all. So therefore, we can change our perception of his artwork, and instead of doing it so that our faces are larger than life, you can do it so that it's a bit like Snapchat if you want, in the sense that you can kind of deform your face, you can make yourself look super uber, perfectly chiseled looks, and so on. All right. So I will just very quickly start us off. All right, the eyes are really, really small, so just copying Fernando's eyes. Okay, trying to kind of put a bit of my own character in there as well, my own portrait character. Okay, the noses are quite low. And the nostrils, all right, are usually very, very close together. All right, noses are usually very small in the artwork, okay? And the eyes are really wide apart. So I've actually drawn that, so it's a bit too close to the nose, all right? So let's just put my eyes really far apart. Okay, so looking at the eyebrows, they are quite big, so I'll give myself some really big eyebrows. Okay, and the same there. Okay, and the sides of the nose are quite exaggerated. All right, putting my pupils there really small as well. All right, so trying to match what he's been doing. Okay, and the top or the mouth is quite close to the nose. There we go. And they're always face on as well. Okay, so I got quite a pointy smile in this photo, so I'll definitely make that a bit pointier on one side. Okay. Now, if you look at the lips on your image, you'll see that the lips are quite pursed. All right, so I'm going to try and make my lips a bit pursed as well. All right, and then we got to draw my chin. No more square jaw because of my explosion of my face. Okay, and there we go, nice round face. Okay. And I will put my hat on. Exaggerate the size of my hat. Right, and then I'll put in the patterns. Maybe exaggerate this a little bit more as well. Okay, maybe give myself a little bit of a chin just to give my just to make it a bit more personal. There we go. Okay, and then I'll put on So you can see here in the picture, the clothes are quite high up on the neck. And the one I'm looking at anyway. Okay, so just put in the start of my shoulders there. Alright, and now what I'm going to do is, again, like always, take off the top layer of pencil. Now you can shade this in pencil if you want. You can add paint. Okay, so remember, it's another hour and 45 minutes. Or is it an hour and a half, I think, that you spend on this. Alright, so you've got plenty of time. Now I'm going to go back. Okay, they're quite yellowy portraits, these are. They're not exactly attractive, but they're good fun to play with. I'm going to go back to the colours that I used when I did Chuck Close. Alright, so definitely going to use this colour for the skin tone. Now there is a definite orange to the face. Okay, I will also get a brown. Get another skin tone in case that works, and then I'm going to also use a white, and looking at the cheeks there's a red as well. Okay, and see if we've got any alternate colours that might work. There's a better orangey yellow. Alright, so again, just use your pencil crayons that you've got at home, but if you can try and use an array if you have them, that would be fantastic. Okay, so all I'm going to do is start off with medium orange. Looking at how Fernando Botero does the facial features, I'm going to start off with my cheeks. Okay, I'm just going to start blending in the colour. Again, I won't spend ages doing this. Okay, just give you an idea. So looking at where the shadows are in his work, looking at where the shadows are on my face. And kind of turning yourself into a cartoon. Again, like I said before, you can make yourself look a little bit more flattering. You can use it, you don't have to make yourself explode outwards like I've done. Alright, you can easily make yourself look really pretty. You know, get yourself on your Snapchat or whatever other app you use. Okay, and then you can have a go at drawing that. That's exactly, this is a similar style to Fernando Botero, because you're exaggerating your facial features. Make yourself look silly if you want. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just moving around, trying to get in the shadows. Okay, in the style of his artwork. I've gone for the easy version of just kind of exploding my face outwards, so I don't feel that you have to copy. This is what happens, you see, if you don't get the graphite out of your picture. Look, it just goes into it. It just goes into the pencil and then you can't rub it out. So his artwork is similar to the apps that we use at the moment to make ourselves look silly. Okay, so it's basically an older fashioned version of this. All right, so make yourself look as silly as you want to look. Okay, or as beautiful as you want to look, or as handsome as you want to look. Right, turn it into a style that matches us today. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, all right, with a normal skin colour. Sorry, no, with a brown. All right, I'm going to look for where those shadows really are kind of cast on the face. They're starting to darken bits. I'll sort the eyes out in a bit. Now, if you've got pencil crayons that don't blend as well as these ones, then you don't want to be as rough as I'm being at the moment. Okay, and then I'm going to go over with this skin tone colour, pressing on reasonably hard. I'm going to miss out where the shadows, where it gets a bit lighter. I'm going to graduate my shading a little bit here. So where I know I need it a bit lighter, I'm going to just make sure that I don't press on too hard, okay? Pencil sharpen it. So don't forget, and I'll keep saying it, but you do not have to make yourself look like I've made myself look. You can make yourself make any funny changes to yourself using an app. You know, this is an old-fashioned artist, and the whole point of working in the style of artists is you can copy their concept, you can copy the meaning behind the work, with the way in which they intended it for it to be. However, there's not really much point in doing that when you can modernize it. Okay, you know, that's the whole point. We want it modernized. All right, we want it turned into a way of working, okay, that suits the time at the moment. So, you know, we wouldn't make ourselves look affluent by making ourselves look like we got, you know, food, money to buy food. Food is readily available now. So therefore, you know, what do we do when we want to make, you know, give ourselves a better image? What is it that we do then? Okay, so I'm just starting to add in some of the coat, some of my coat in here. Okay, just to try and get a bit more roundness into my face. I personally find it quite comical to make myself appear with an amazing deformed face like this. Okay, so I'll finish off the coat later on. All right, what I'm now going to do is I'm going to go back through with this colour just to try and smooth some of the face. All right, because if you look at his drawings, they are the drawings are very, very yellow. Okay, so now I've kind of developed that basic tone. I'm just going to go back over and blend some of that facial pink into more of the yellow. So I'm missing out where I want it to be a bit lighter. I'm just trying to get in some more shadows. It's all about layering. Okay, so now I've got to put the eyebrows back in shortly. Get some more into the nose. I'm looking forward to seeing what exaggerated proportions you're going to give yourself in this piece of work. Are you going to shrink down your cheeks? Are you going to exaggerate your beautiful smile? Make your eyes really, really big and beautiful. Make them small and beautiful. It's completely and utterly up to you, okay? So I'm just going to get this white now. All right, white pencil crayon. And I'm just going to start blending that a little bit, especially where I want it to be a little bit lighter. And all I'm doing is very quickly just try to blend that in a little bit. Now you can blend this in using different materials. You could use a blending tool with your pencil crayon and so on. Alright, you don't even have to go to the same extent that I'm doing here. You could use paint, you don't have to use pencil crayon. You could even just shade it in pencil if you wanted to. Okay, so I might come back and tweak that a little bit more. Alright, and now we've got to work into the lips. Alright, so I'm going to just use a bit of yellow because they're not completely separate from the rest of the face. Okay, just to get in where I think the darkest bits are. Okay, and then I'm going to go for this red here. Alright, slightly different to my coat. Alright, just to start off with. Okay, we'll go to this red, so that one's just run out of lead. So looking at my lips, I've got to try and just exaggerate the shape a little bit. But also looking at Botero's work. Okay, and then I am going to use this just to add in a darker shade inside the mouth because the mouth is slightly open. Okay, and now I'm going to go through and just start to define the nose a little bit more. Again, trying to make it look a little bit like mine, but at the same time like Botero's. Just using this black again just to define. Okay, I'll come back to that and improve that a bit later as well. And then we'll just add a bit of detail onto the chin here. Okay, and now looking at the eyes, we do need to go back to that colour that we originally used because they've got the same kind of hue on the inside. Okay, so just put that on the inside there. Right, and I'll go back, just using a dark brown. Adding my pupils. I'm not using a black at the moment. Okay, and then I'm just going to define the outline of the eyes. Just trying to keep a similar shape. Putting in my eyelashes. Okay, and now I'll put in the eyebrows. Again, keeping my eye on Botero's work. Okay, and I will add in, using the white, just add in the pupil, the iris of the eye. and I'll do the same on the other one. And then put in my eyelashes. Always remember that the eyelash is at the bottom of the lid. I always go a little bit below the eye. There's always a gap between the line of the eye. Okay, and what I can do is, if I have more time now, I would then continue, all right, working into, all right, the shading in my clothes. Okay, and I'd obviously put some shading into my hat here as well, all right, and I'd start building it up. Okay, so that it looked like I'd got definitely got a woolly hat on. All right, probably using a bit more of a spiral effect like that. All right, and then that is okay, my version, me in the style of Fernando Botero.